No, it's really about the mind.
No, I don't believe that it's just to lose weight.
No, it's not.
I never wanted to lose weight.
I've met quite a lot of people who are like, I don't do this to lose weight, I do this to kill myself, I do this because I think I deserve pain, I do this because I don't think I deserve this, this and this, etc.
A lot of it is to do to lose weight, but a lot of things that could be included in that. Like, for example, you may feel if you're not underweight or if you're not perfect body, you might not feel accepted by other people. You might not feel like you fit in.
Obviously that's the symptom that shows through, but that's not really what it is.
It can be losing weight, it can be a focus. Some people, their eating disorders make them gain weight, and some people, their weight doesn't really change at all.
I think that's really complex.
Well, that can be anything.
Honestly, I think anorexia can be caused by anything.
I don't feel eating disorders have one cause.
There's not one cause for an eating disorder.
They feel bad about themselves, or they've got various traumas.
I believe a lot of it is genetics.
Obviously there's a lot of external stimuli in the world, pressure to be thin, the media, everything, and you know that would play a role to some degree.
I know that people think the media causes it. I think the media can have a bigger effect than we think.
TV shows such as Super Size vs Super Skinny definitely increased my phobia of becoming obese.
But if the media caused it, everyone would have it. I think anorexia can be caused by anything. Sometimes there doesn't have to be a cause. I've met so many people who think that because they weren't abused, that means they somehow don't have the right.
From abuse to just trying to gain control over your life.
It's just a feeling of not being good enough, and it's one way for people to deal with it.
I feel the original cause of my eating disorder was due to being alone.
So it's about the mind, it's about trauma and dealing with that and thinking about calories and food and all that stuff instead of thinking about what's initially bothering you, and I think that's really the cause, even when some people don't really realise that that's what it is.
Anything in the past, it could be things that are happening now, maybe it's low self-esteem, whatever, everyone's different.
It's absolutely impossible to know by looking at someone whether they have an eating disorder or not.
They can be all different weights, all different shapes and sizes.
You can be a healthy weight and have an eating disorder, underweight and have an eating disorder. You can even be overweight and have an eating disorder.
A person with an eating disorder can look like anything.
Like me?
Well, they can look like anybody. The person you're sat next to could have an eating disorder.
Like the neighbour?
You can tell sometimes. Sometimes they just look perfectly normal.
You can be male, female, black or white.
It's about the mind and not the body.
You can't really tell by the way someone looks, because it's all about the mind.
It doesn't matter what weight you are, the symptoms can be the same.
No.
No.
I don't think weight can reflect on the severity of the actual eating disorder, but I think it can sometimes reflect on the severity of their physical being.
You can be really underweight and really sick.
It can give indication.
Because obviously if you're severely underweight, no matter what, you're not well. You know, your body is compromised.
If you're grossly underweight, then obviously it could make your organs shut down and all that stuff. So obviously that would reflect, but that isn't necessarily the illness itself. That's the consequences of the illness.
Or a healthy weight and be really sick.
Being a normal weight doesn't mean you don't have a severe eating disorder.
I'm in the normal BMI range, but I abuse laxatives, I purge, I binge, I starve, and so my weight does not reflect what is going on with my eating disorder.
The illness can be the same no matter what weight you are.
But at the same time you can be of a healthy weight and still be severely compromised.
You might not even realise there is a problem.
I think these are maladaptive coping skills.
Personally, I use it as a coping mechanism.
Although I've never successfully purged, attempts have been coping.
If you're feeling distress, you choose to show it through a certain pool of symptoms.
Also because I felt so worthless, like I didn't deserve food.
Because I love food, but I want to eat it, but I don't feel guilty when I do, so I use my behaviours.
And also because the voice in my head told me I needed to be empty.
It's a way you feel in control.
Ways to gain control.
I use starving as a method of control.
I starve and purge and exercise to gain control over my life.
It's a way no one can hurt you, no one can tell you what to do. You can't tell by the way someone's eating if they've got an eating disorder because they can easily hide it.
With me, I was EDNOS, so I was a healthy weight through most of my eating disorder where I wasn't starving all the time, but I wasn't binging all the time, so it kind of balanced out on my weight.
And if they're healthy weight, doesn't mean their mind's healthy.
Us outsiders can't see the thought process that goes along with a meal.
Although it's an eating disorder, it's not just about eating.
That doesn't reflect on anything. For one, people with eating disorders can be very secretive and very good at it.
When I was at my worst, I was so sneaky, deceptive, and I lied all the time. I didn't want anyone to know.
Symptoms can be very hidden. It's a very secretive disorder, so you never know what they could be doing. There could be laxative abuse. Even if they're not running to the bathroom, they could be exercising when you're not watching.
For example, when I came home from Lee House last time, I was eating well, my weight was maintaining, it looked like I was fine. But every single night I was using eating disorder behaviours.
Remember, you don't know what goes on behind closed doors.
Is no a strong enough word? No.
No.
Definitely not for attention.
To reduce it to just seeking attention would be very wrong.
I think it's really just a coping skill, and a lot of times they don't want anybody to find out.
Not a lot of people who suffer want to have an eating disorder, it just happens.
No, I don't believe it's for attention, but I do believe it's a cry for help.
I'll agree they're a cry for help, and the people with them are definitely suffering a lot.
I think for some people, eating disorders are definitely a cry for help.
Yeah, cry for help is a phrase which comes to mind.
They don't, if they do tell people, it's probably a cry for help.
I believe you're subconsciously trying to let people know that you're upset by using your body to show them, by hurting your body rather than using your words.
Yes.
No, I just think a lot of them are very ill people.
I just think the people who run the sites be very, very ill.
There are people in that community who are really sick.
There's a lot of pride, like I'm skinnier and you're not as skinny, blah blah blah, and it's a lot of pride thing, and they're trying to show off how that is. So that is a degree of attention.
Although I don't necessarily see it as negative, I see vulnerable people seeking belonging and assistance.
Are so focused on their eating disorder that they can't think of anything else to do.
The only way they know how to write about it and talk about it is by glamorizing it and making it seem better than it is.
I can see that as possibly a kind of a means of coping, like to be able to convince yourself that what you're doing is not only okay but a good thing.
I think it's just the same reasons, except I just think you're trying to look for acceptance. I think if you make a pro-ana site or if you go on a pro-ana site, etc., you're really just looking for someone out there who isn't telling you not to do it.
For them it's a way of justifying what they're doing to themselves.
Your mind is starved and you can't think reasonably.
Or trying to get someone's attention to say, I'm hurting, please help me.
Hello, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. I'm hoping maybe it can spread a little bit more awareness, maybe to families that don't understand eating disorders. You could show them, or friends, or just people who just don't understand eating disorders. Maybe this can help inform them of what it's like on the inside and what it's like on the outside. And thank you so much to the people who took part, and it was really nice to put together. I'm sorry to the 3 people that I didn't include that wanted to be included. It's simply because we just had so little contact, and I had planned to put it up by today, so I've put it up by today. I'm really sorry. If you like this video, please subscribe below. Please give me a comment. I always appreciate it. And if you think I need one, give me a thumbs up. But most of all, please stay strong. Bye!